Okay, it should be streaming now.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I see it.
It just
Okay.
popped up.
Sorry, it's in the back of everything.
We need. Oh, let me update the title and everything. Since I'm already in here. Add it to playlist meetings. Did any of this following make Spiro person appear to say, nope, we're not using altered content? Remove the live cam stuff. Set language.
Whole bunch of 1 hour just.
Yeah, it's not like we've got many people here yet.
Yeah, I mean, there's people in the shop. Yeah. When we're ready, I'll go round them up just so we have some sort of attendance. Yeah, there you go.
Why?
I guess we could do it really quick that way if we don't. Yeah.
Okay, change the title and everything.
Yeah. It seems I'll take it. I was like last week themselves.
Okay, so we should be good, right?
I'll be here every day. I would too.
I mean, it should be streaming. I'm seeing it
Yeah,
on the
looks like it's
dashboard. If it's on the dashboard, then it should be good to go.
Yeah, I think we're good. Unless I did the whole not live thing, but whatever. Or not public.
Oh, well, right. No, it's.
Well, but that's for the recording, right?
Well, right now we're. Hold on. Sorry, too many sounds. It's live right now. Like we're showing everything. So
Okay. All right, we're good.
We're not on the loading screen or the website or anything like that.
Gotcha. I saw you guys were giving tours. Are we gonna wait a little bit, or I guess just let me know when you're ready to go.
Yeah, let me check in on them.
There's also very, very few people here.
Yeah, it'll be quick.
Well, it looks like we might have a couple more pulling in. So let's wait a good another 5 minutes.
Okay, sounds good.
Because 8-ish is 8-ish.
We should have a loading screen that we should be able to use. Why is that not loaded?
I could not find it. It was
Everything was set up on that lab computer under the admin account.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I thought. But
What's the IP?
He's gonna fix the popcorn from there.
Yeah.
A little oil in it. I don't know.
I should print out the ratio on the thing.
It's only 4 to 1.
It's a lot to a lot.
I mean,
It's a lot more than you think, but a lot more than you think.
Well, if you do it, when I do it on my stovetop, it's 2 tablespoons of oil to like a half cup of kernel.
Yeah.
So whatever that is.
so what you're saying is popcorn isn't as healthy as everybody makes.
As you would think.
Yeah.
No, okay, good tasting popcorn is not healthy.
That's correct.
Good tasting anything is probably not healthy.
Hey, we got
All
a
right, you guys see the agenda now?
yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay, so we'll start this meeting. This is the FamiLAB membership meeting of May 24th, 8 p.m. For those of you who are remote, you can join the channel or join it through Google Chat or Google Hangouts, whatever. Link is in the agenda. Attendees not speaking, please mute your microphones just so there's not a ton of crosstalk. Same with you guys in the location. Just remember that speaker picks up and kind of cuts everybody out when it does. And then head count, if you guys can, l.familab.org/sign-in, just so that we can get a head count of the people who actually attended without having to go back and review the recording. All right, financial update. We have total membership. So these membership numbers are actually a little bit lower than what we normally say because these ones, this doesn't really include all of the special cases. Trying to gear it more towards the paid subscription or the paid members. We're at about 100 paid members. We still need to go through and kind of edit the database a little bit more and make sure we have accurate tracking. But we're around 100 members. For the profit and loss, if we pull just this month, it looks really bad because of the way the expenses happen for the move. But if we pull last month and this month, we really only come in under about 100. And then even then, there's some stuff not accounted for, such as the landlord paying for the lights, because it's hard to explain, but Mike paid for the lights, but then the landlord paid for the lights, but then Mike has money from something else that was sold. So anyway, basically, we're coming out around even, about 100 negative on paper, but once we add in the rest, I think we're about in the black. So we're no longer in the red. And next month we're going to have a far more accurate representation because we're going to be able to see what an actual normal month costs us, and then we can compare that to a normal month of memberships. There's been a bunch of donations. I don't know which ones we talked about in the previous meetings. I kind of lost track of it. But I found that there was a $200 donation during the grand reopening. I don't think it was even a member either. I think it was just a random person that showed up and donated. I'm not sure. I have to go back through that, but we did get a $200 donation there. The table saw swap was on Justin and Johan, so thank you to those guys for getting us a better table saw there. And then there was a bunch of build out costs, and Mike held up. I don't know if he wants to be called out or not, but I am.
Whatever you want.
Mike held up a lot of those costs for the electrical. Remember, we didn't have any build out. Well, we have some build out money, and he's going to get some of that back, but we didn't really get for any kind of build out. So when we got in the space and the wire was absolutely atrocious, what 90% of it was done, Mike?
Yeah, somewhere
that,
there. A lot.
that had yeah, so that had to come from somewhere. Mike did a lot of it. There was a lot of it was pulled from the old space, so that helped. But Mike put in a lot towards that. So same with the lights, and that we're gonna end up replacing the lights in the classroom And then there's the FabLab lights that technically the landlord's paying for. And then the various food and labor and everything for the grand reopening. Granted that labor isn't necessarily a financial cost, but as everybody that helped out knows that there is a cost to it. So thank you to Mike and everybody else, Justin, Johan for the table saw, everybody that contributed in whatever way you contributed for the grand reopening and getting us running this past week. Thank you so much for that. We'll go ahead and move on. House cleaning. Sorry, I got a little bit distracted there. The grand reopening was a success. For those of you who weren't able to attend, we had a very, very good turnout. We had a lot of people interested. Probably some people that were gonna, follow up and come back. We even did get one member that hung out. I'm not sure if she's there with you guys, but she hung out and with
I think we joined her
Katie
virtually,
and
Adam. It's Rhea, right?
okay,
What up,
yeah,
Rhea?
Rhea. She hung out and just stayed around before the end of the evening. Katie came up to me and was like, "Yeah, let's just get her membership." So that's awesome. We got a lot of success from that. So much success that Justin and I think a few other people kind of brought it up is that we don't necessarily have to have a grand reopening for a party like that to promote the business. That might be something that we want to do, or the organization. I mean, sorry. That might be something that we want to do twice a year, once a quarter. I don't know. I don't know about once a quarter. That's a bit much, but
That's a lot.
twice a year. Yeah, twice a year might be good. At a minimum, I think once a year.
Hey, Adam, can
Maybe
I
make.
mention something? Um,
Yeah, go ahead.
One of the things that we had done previously before the world ended in early 2020 is we would focus a large hangout event around Maker Fair. Usually like the Saturday after the first night or the Sunday after, breakdown, because there's a lot of people, whatever it was, or maybe the Friday before, whatever. Oftentimes, especially Saturday night, there was a lot of people looking for things to do and a lot of people from out of town. And I know that there's a lot of local people who don't know that we exist, even ones who attend Maker Fair. So I don't know if that would be an option, but it's a thought as far as that time frame of events.
So,
November.
so ironically, that's what Adam and I were talking about. Is that at a minimum we were thinking 2, and it would be, and more than that would be the stretch. One kind of like an anniversary of the reopening, or even earlier, try to catch people on the New Year's Eve or the New Year's resolutions bump. People trying to find new things, and winter's nice weather-wise, so we can do a couple things. And then one around Maker Fair, or Maker Fair would be just there's so much. Depending on how heavy we are on Maker Fair stuff, Maker Fair is it, but that's not a bad idea to tie it all together.
Jumping back just a hair, following up from the from the grand reopening, did we ever send a follow-up email to all of those people?
Yep, we did.
Sign the waiver.
Awesome. I just wanted to make sure that happened.
Things are coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something that we're going to continue on forward too. Like at the bottom of the waiver, it does say that you agree to allow us to add you to the mailing list, and then it's because we're using Mailchimp, it's super easy for people to unsubscribe to that. So that's going to be something we're going to use more often, and that's something I'm going to look for an ops person to get on is something to they'll jump in the job form after every open house or once a month at least and look at all the most recent waivers that were filled out and then follow up with those people who hadn't already come back or haven't signed that application, just to kind of follow up with them and remind them and say, hey, we're still around, we got these events going on, stop by, blah blah blah. And then we also want to get a newsletter going. So I know I kind of went off on that, but yeah, they did get an email out and they are added to the newsletter list, so they'll continue to get emails and reminders that we exist. But yeah, as for when, I don't know. That's a good point. Around Maker Faire would be an excellent time.
The
And then,
Saturday
like
during
Justin
Maker
said,
Faire.
early.
Yeah, the Saturday during Maker Faire to give people a chance to hang out with makers, and and that's usually October, November timeframe. So something spring, like March, April, is also a good time. It's an
Right.
opposite, but that's something to think about next year.
Yep.
Or Maker
Well,
Faire in a few months, but
Yeah.
but the
Yeah.
for it, we should generally maybe try and shoot for 2 per year, one in the first half of the year, one in the second half of the year.
Yeah. We
And
might still shoot for. Sorry, we might still shoot for the Maker Faire one just because um, Maker Faire is still a good distance off at this point, and
No,
we
it
need to
isn't.
start motivating.
November.
Maker Faire is closer than you think.
No, it's closer than you think.
Yeah, but I mean, I know, I get it, but it's still it's good enough. It's long enough out to where we could probably do something, and plus that would help us get the motivation up for Maker Faire as well because
It's
we need a better presence at Maker Faire. Previous years we weren't even there. Previous couple years, and then last year it was like mostly me and Brian. Maribel showed up. I think there was like one other person, and so yeah, we basically we want a good appearance at Maker Faire as well. So it might be something we'll look into for this year. I don't
what
think
we
it's that far off to where we can't do it.
I'm going to say one more thing because I already held this up. And then you can tell me to shut up and go away. What we did several years ago is we actually, at Maker Faire, when we would talk to someone at the booth, every interaction at the booth, we would invite people to come to our party. And they
Yeah,
get
that's an excellent idea.
a VIP invite ticket. It made them feel important, even though everyone got it. It made them feel important enough, and that year we had like 50 people come by the space that had never been here before.
Yeah, see, I mean, I think that would be, I don't know. Yeah, the grand reopening took a lot, but a lot of what it took was finishing getting the space in order. When it came to buying the food and getting all that set up, that wasn't that much. That's why I don't think that it would be a big deal for us to have one around
Yeah,
Maker Faire.
we didn't have any
And
food,
something like that would be awesome.
but we didn't have food.
Yeah, because it started late.
Yeah.
It
9,
was like
10.
eight or nine. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was pretty late.
I mean, I think sometimes people would order pizzas for delivery, but that
Yeah.
was hey, we were at Maker Faire all day and forgot to eat. Let me order something.
Yeah.
Not anything
Yeah.
organized.
We didn't provide anything except for a space for people to hang out. And
Yeah.
some people brought, drinks, and some people got pizza. Like it was just a BYOB situation, but you don't put that on the invite. You just invite people out. But if it's not during dinner time, people don't expect dinner.
Yeah.
We'll make
Right,
popcorn.
exactly.
We'll make popcorn. We might have sodas available.
That's a lot of stretch. So
Yes.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry.
We'll have cups.
That's the
if
last
people
I'll say
bring
on this.
soda.
Sorry,
No worries.
It's a meeting.
But at some
So yeah,
point, for people who are brand new to the concept of makerspace, you should probably tell us what a Maker Faire is. Not now, but in the, near future,
Fair.
what it is and why we should be.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. No, that's fair.
Good call.
You'll hear it.
That
all about
that
it
kind
in
of comment
future.
is extremely fair, but it makes me extremely sad that you don't know too. Because that's something that we should be talking about a lot more.
I've heard the term, but
There's only 5 more member meetings till Maker Faire.
Oh God. Why?
This was
I hate
the-
you, Mike.
We are closer to the next Maker Faire than we are from the last one.
Okay. Anyway, workshops, open houses, etc. They're being re-added to the calendar. There's a 3D printing 101. No, I didn't do the 101, but the 3D printing 101 and the laser 101, I'm going to redesign. I keep talking about it, but after my hiatus here, I'm going to get working on like the paperwork side of it. Basically, I'm going to make them a lot more interactive. Like the 3D printing 101, everybody's going to get a 3D printer to use, so it's going to be a very limited class. But I'm also going to bring in a couple of my printers as well. So I want it to be more hands-on so people can fully understand how they can leave with something they printed, or at the very minimum, fully understand how to print something themselves. Same kind of aspect with the laser 101. That's why I'm doing separate ones for both the boss and the epilogue is because I want to basically go through classroom work and then take them into the laser just like we used to in the past and make everybody actually cut something in order to finish the class, cut or engrave or both, whatever. Um, so I do need help with that though because I can't run all of them all the time. So if anybody's interested, even if you don't know how to use a laser, I'll run you through all the training and everything, and then you could
Did
be
you
there with me for the first couple classes, and then we can go from there.
did you ever grab the 2/3 completed up the Laser 101's slides that I was putting together? They were in the ops drive, I believe.
Yeah, I believe I grabbed them and looked at them. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a lot of that and then just add to it. I just need the time to go through it. But yeah, there's a good start between that and then there's a completed one, but it's more of like
The
there's
very
a lot
old,
of explanation about how the laser works, which is really cool, but I don't think a
not,
lot of people really cared that much as much
yeah,
how it
that's why I
works as
had
much as
started to
how to
rewrite
use it.
it and format it in such a way that the boss stuff could be dropped in. And it was really here's the safety, and then let's get over to the pew-pews.
Right. Okay, and Justin restarted the Learn With Me woodworking. I heard it was a pretty decent turnout. I saw a few pictures that seemed pretty cool. Are you keeping that up monthly, or what are you doing with that, Justin?
That is a good question. It'll be a minimum monthly. I'm gonna try to keep it every couple weeks
Okay.
for now. As we rebuild some shop stuff as well.
And I will
Gotcha.
probably put microcontroller meetup back on the calendar, probably July.
That would be awesome, man. That would be great. That
Yep.
was kind of my next topic is we have a lot of suggestions. I know there's a lot of people that say I can do something, but I don't know what to do. Um, we have a list. I posted it a list I just randomly came up with off the top of my head once, and I can get you more. So if you don't know what to do, or even if you don't know how to do it, again, the Learn With Me is a excellent way of starting because that way there's no real expectation of somebody. It's like it's less of an expectation when you go in. You go into it thinking, okay, this person doesn't really know, but at least I'll have somebody to help me learn. So it's a little bit more, it's a little bit easier to jump into for even you and the people that don't really know what's going on either. Anyway, point is that has to be done. We have to get more on the. I'm gonna beat this dead horse every meeting. The 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 concept of getting funds from other places, that is the key way to do it, is through the events. If we want to just fund this just off of membership dues, I'm just afraid we're going to go down the same rabbit hole we've been down multiple times. So I think we really have an opportunity here. It's going to take work from the membership to share the knowledge that they have. Once we start sharing that knowledge, that's really all we have to do. And then that kind of bleeds into the next topic, which is the membership numbers. As you can go ahead.
As far as workshops, I'm going to be gone for a good bit of June out of state, but into the summer, once I get firmer dates, I'm planning on doing some Vinyl 101 Learn With Me, as well as trying to get some of the fiber arts restarted, even just as a hangout. I crochet, and I can sort of kind of teach how to crochet, but even stuff like I can take one of the wood shop, like Learn With Me things. So we had an impromptu wood lathe last week with a group, and that was fantastic. And I've been just coming in and teaching myself now how to use the lathe. I'd love to show people how to do that. So once I come back from being out of town, I'm going to start adding to the calendar wood, vinyl, fiber arts.
Speaking of the lathe, you can do a pen turning 101 or pen
I have to
turning.
learn how to do that.
Oh, if you've used the lathe once, pen turning is easy.
Cool.
I was actually going to talk to you about that. I've done a bunch of pen turning in the past, and I have some of the supplies here. I think I even have the mandrel and a
We
bunch of the
had
bushing.
a,
So
we had a mandrel and a few bushing sets and sanding stuff. We had effectively a kit at the old space. Did it not make it to the new one?
I think it did, but it's in pieces. So
Oh.
somebody knows.
Well, it was
knows
in one contained small box.
yeah, no, that's doesn't define anything that happened during that move.
Yeah, so then we would
Yeah.
know. But we'll look for
But
it.
yeah, but
Well,
I have some left over because I don't have my lathe anymore. I gave my lathe away to a buddy, so I do have a bunch of that stuff. So I was gonna ask you specifically, Kristen, because I saw you doing the lathe stuff. If you want to learn how to do pen turning, and then I was gonna do
Sure.
like learn with me kind of thing. So yeah, we'll get into that. But yeah, things like that, that's awesome. If you, I think I'm not sure if you have access to the calendar or not, but if not, you can just fill out the thing on the form on the website, and we'll get it posted on the calendar. So whenever you're ready, go for it.
Sounds good.
But yeah, that's so the membership numbers. Granted, they kind of look like they went down just based off of the way we're doing them now. They haven't. In fact, we lost a couple members during the move, and that wasn't necessarily because of the move. It was just random things. We lost a couple members, and then we gained more back than we lost. So we're actually better off now, and there's a lot more activity at the lab to where we're getting a lot more interest, a lot more people coming by. So that's it's just kind of proving my point that once we get that stuff around, the member engagement, that's what's going to keep building our numbers. And once we have, the more members we have, the more donations we get, the more money we get from other sources, whether it be grants or whatever, the better we can, organize the lab in a way that it fits everybody's needs. Maybe even expand whatever future stuff. There's really there's no telling what we can do. Honestly, there's no end to what we can do. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on. Sponsors. Thank you again to all of our sponsors. Elegoo, Wham Bam, and then RevoPoint is, I talked about this I think in the last meeting. They sponsored us by sending us a 3D scanner, and I almost have all the information I need for the blog post and possibly a video or two. I am doing another Learn With Me. I think this coming, is it this coming Sunday? Anyway, it's down here. 3D scanning, yeah, Learn With Me on May 26th. So anybody who's interested, please feel free to come by then, and so that we can show RevoPoint how much we appreciate them giving us that scanner and how much we can use in the space. Social media as normal. Hang on, Brian. Social media as normal. Post photos and descriptions, and I made this in Slack. Make sure you post a description so it's easier for us to post it on social media with an explanation of what it is. We really need to get back into this, and however, I did notice that a lot of pictures came through in the last events, so that's exactly what we need. We need the events pictures, and then stuff you made. So just keep that stuff coming, and that stuff will get on social media, and we'll get out there more.
So, speaking of sponsors, I saw that Sobel released a new 3D printer. Perhaps we reach out to them and see if they'll sponsor us with one of their Boron clones that doesn't actually require any assembly, just unboxing and a tiny amount of tuning.
That'd be pretty cool. There's I actually had something put together. I was gonna ask Bamboo Labs about. I would like to get a multi-material printer, but the other thing is I don't want to just focus on 3D printers. So
Right, but if
we
we
need to
got
look around the lab
Bamboo,
also
yeah, if we got a
to
Bamboo,
see what
we
else.
can retire one of the Enders. Or if we got
Right,
the
right.
Boron clone, we can retire both of the Enders. So,
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of looking for sponsors, we don't want to
yeah.
just be asking everybody. I know in the past they reached out everywhere, and kind of that
Yeah.
can be a negative too. So we want to kind of focus where we're asking. The other thing is right now we found out that we don't have some paperwork in order for that. So we're almost done getting that finished up. So we had to kind of put a pause on asking for sponsorships at the moment, but that should be done, I would imagine, within the next week or so, because we finished up one half of it. Now we got to finish up the other half. But yes, we're definitely going to reach out to more. That's a good point. I did see that they had a new printer out. I hadn't looked at it yet. But
Yeah.
if it's a Voron clone, then
It's a Voron
they say forget
2.4
Bamboo.
clone and takes like 45 minutes to an hour to set up.
Nice.
Yeah.
The only thing I was looking at, and not to get off sidetracked here, but for 3D printers, then I didn't really want to just it's faster, and it's new, but we already have printers and they're Tinker's printers, so it's kind of like a FamiLAB style thing. I kind of like if we're gonna get something new and different, I'd rather it be something like multi-material so that we can do something different. I mean, faster isn't necessarily different.
I
Um,
mean,
well, it's not
faster,
different enough.
yeah, faster does, it's also less tinkery than
Yeah,
threes. It's more appliance and less project into itself.
that's why I was kind of looking at the bamboo ones too, is because you can get multi-material and project without going insanely priced like the multi-material ones with
The,
Crusoe.
the, the nice thing about the Sobel though is it is entirely open source.
Oh, nice. Okay, let's take that offline. We'll talk about that because
We'll
that's
pick
a
that up
good
another
point.
time.
Um, but yeah, that kind of stuff. Any kind of recommendations like that people have, send them over to us. Don't just go reaching out because there is a specific way and specific paperwork that you have to give vendors in order for them to sponsor us. So
Yep.
please don't go asking anybody for support. You can mention FamiLAB and that you're there and that we do accept donations, but you don't want to specifically ask for that stuff because we could get in trouble. So,
Yeah,
but if you bring it
don't
up, if you bring it
ask.
up to the right,
Yeah.
if you bring it up to the board, though, the board can then look into it, either give you the proper paperwork and will allow you to do that, or the board can reach out themselves if you don't want to, or we can get an ops person to do it. So it's not like we're not trying to be the ones to say, oh no, that's only us that can speak about it. It's that there's legal paperwork that has to be involved. That's all.
Yeah, don't ask about it. Just talk about the things that you think are cool and that would be a good fit for this space.
Right.
Let them offer
And
them to
then
you.
even then though, when they offer it, make sure then you direct it to the board. That's all.
Right.
So moving on, I'm going to skip open discussion right now for a second, just to go over. I need to rearrange this because we always skip it. Upcoming events, busy bag packing is one. Is Eileen on today? I can't see
No,
the.
she's not.
So, okay. So she's doing a thing for her charity. In kind of in conjunction with FamLab, she's basically just using the space more than anything to do this busy bag packing thing. It's basically for elderly people or even people with disorders, where it's like a little bag that goes by their bed, and they can have like yarn and stuff in it. But they pack. I believe, from my understanding, they pack it with donated supplies and things for the entertainment things for these people to use, and then those go through as a donation through her thing. So if you're interested in that, she's looking for more volunteers. There's a thing up on Eventbrite. It's on our calendar, but she's doing that on the 23rd. 3D scanning again is on the 26th. Power racing's on the 4th. And then our normal other ones are like outreach every other Thursday at 7 p.m. Social nights every Tuesday, 7:30 ish. Board meetings second Monday. Open house is the second Tuesday, and then monthly membership meetings the third Tuesday.
Hey, Adam,
Yeah.
one thing for the calendar this week, if you guys saw Kristen's birthday party on Saturday, that's a private event that I RSVP'd the classroom, partially to bring in a bunch of people so that they are aware of what FamiLAB is. So I'm hoping to get like 15 girlfriends in here for just like a paint and snack time.
Yep.
And so I'm trying to get people in here. This is kind of like a beta test thing to see if maybe this could be a way to bring in new faces so that they can see the place.
And I cleaned part of the classroom after that event for another private event.
Nice.
I'm bringing some people in to play some tabletop games because I don't have space in my apartment. So we're going to use tables here.
Yeah, actually, and in fact, before Brian posted that and after Kristen asked for hers, it actually brought up a good point to me is that we haven't really. I was told this when I joined, but I don't think I've heard it really too much since. Is that as a member you can reserve the spaces like that. It doesn't have to be necessarily something even for FamiLAB directly, like to get people to join or anything like that. If you need an event, it's part of your membership. You can reserve it. Obviously, if it's like a prime time or something like that, there may be questions if it's done. Like we don't want you to reserve every single weekend, all day Saturday or something for for just
Did we
a
get
D&D game or something.
did we get the Inventors Council thing on the calendar, or did that get?
Yeah, Inventors Council had asked for something.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's next month. I'll make sure it gets put on. That's on my list of stuff to do.
Well, I didn't know the details. Just saw it coming.
Yeah, which actually brings up another point that I thought I had it on here. We do need more ops people, and we do need more ops people that are able to do things, because things like the calendar. I've been primarily doing the calendar stuff, and my plate's kind of full. So if that's something that ops can do, that's what I did when I was not necessarily on the board. It's something I saw in the past ops was doing. We can give you access to that to add stuff to the calendar, and we can put you on the email list for when people submit their request for to RSVP the space. So um, something I'm specifically looking for right now is somebody to take over the calendar stuff. If you want to do that, please reach out to me and I'll get you set up on that. But yeah, anyway, yeah, you can reserve it for whatever you want, and it doesn't necessarily have to be anything FamiLAB related.
Okay, and
So just keep that in mind.
speaking of my event, the tabletop game event on Saturday, I'm opening it up to lab members. So anybody who wants to show up, we're going to play some one-shots. We're going to throw some math rocks and try and have a good time.
Nice.
So yes, please, all I ask is that you tell me you're coming so we can figure out how many people we need to run it, because each table only works well with a certain number of people. So, but we've got enough people to run it that we can split into multiple tables.
Cool.
So,
Sounds good.
What day?
So
this Saturday from 3 p.m. ish.
Okay. Cool.
So last thing before open discussion, we do have a new member. This is the one I was talking about that basically joined after the grand reopening, and I believe she's here to introduce herself. Are you here, Rhea?
Hello, I'm here.
Hey,
Hello.
I'm gonna stop sharing so that I can switch over.
Thank you.
Alrighty, go ahead. Just go ahead and introduce yourself and let us know, why you joined FamiLAB, and yeah, go ahead.
Sure thing. So, my name's Rhea Santos. I joined FamiLAB because I was interested in learning electronics, and then it's just like, ooh, there's a lot to learn here, more than electronics. So I'm very happy to be invited and be a member. Some of the things I know is art and cybersecurity, so I am happy to share whatever I know and whatever I learn here. I am also equally happy to share what I learned too. So, yeah. I know animation, painting with watercolor and acrylics. Um, you can also use painting with acrylics for like woodworks and stuff like that. So it may come in handy once we learn some more woodworks. So yeah.
Cool. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm waving.
Anybody
You
have
can't see,
any-
but I'm waving back.
Does anybody have any questions for her? Once,
Mad props for showing up and just like immediately jumping into a project.
Right?
Yeah, that's how you know you belong at FamiLAB.
Thank you. I was like, oh, we get to do our projects today. We can do it now. I want to do it. So I just pulled out my little kit that I was hoping to get to tinker with, and I really appreciate y'all showing me how to.
yeah, that's awesome. That definitely shows you fit in.
So how many projects have you started?
Ask that question to everyone,
I
and
do,
it's
it's a-
upsetting.
But it's also a good gauge of how well somebody fits.
I know, it upsets me whenever I think about it. I'm like,
It's
there's a
alright.
lot of projects I've started. Stop reminding me.
See, the painful question is the follow-up one. How many projects have you finished?
Which is, yeah.
Just a much smaller number. That's all.
If it's above 1 in 10, you're in the wrong spot.
She probably
1 in
missed
10 in a
all of
month?
her projects, Brian.
Yeah.
Like if you completed 1 in 10, because a lot of us, we have ongoing projects that we start and just never finish. It's just kind of like a tradition with makers, honestly, is
Yeah, like my
if you
401k.
saw our previous lab, you would understand a little bit more, because that was just full of unfinished projects everywhere.
Oh,
It's
man.
that first 50 to 70% of the project that's the most fun. That last 30% takes 90% of the time.
Exactly. It does. That's just science, honestly.
All right. Did we have anybody else that we needed to introduce today?
No,
Brett's not
We're-
there, right?
we're all old timers here. So.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So I guess we can go into open discussion. Does anybody have any things they want to show off, or show and tell? Talk about what you've been up to, what you've been working on, etc.
I don't have it to show off, but I'll bring it next meeting.
I'm trying to design a PCB for the door scanner, and I'm trying to get Mike to review it and say, hey, what's wrong with this circuit? And he's intentionally avoiding me, I think. It's because he hates me.
It sounds like Mike.
Yeah.
He's intimidated by your knowledge. That's what it is.
If that
That
were
is
the
pretty
case,
cool, though.
If that were the case, I wouldn't be going to him being like, I made a thing. I don't know if it's any good. Please tell me what sucks about it.
That is pretty cool. You're making a custom board for it. That's pretty awesome.
Mike keeps like flashing pictures across the room on his iPad. I think he should share them with the class.
Holy shit, that's really good.
I'm looking at Power Wheels plastic bar frame things.
That's very nice.
Oh yeah, the guy that came in earlier, I think he just
That's
missed
really
it.
unique.
He was I gave him a tour, and he said one of the things that like he thought was really cool was he missed doing SAE racing in college, where they like designed the car and whatnot. And I told him this, like, I think there's a thing called Power Wheels that happens here. I don't know what it is, but it involves motors and something you ride. So like, that might be kind of in the right direction. So if you run into a Tim. If you run into a
My name is Tim.
He's not here anymore, is he?
No, but he introduced himself.
Blue,
Okay.
green?
Sweet birch.
Yeah, I would definitely like to see a power racer at Makerspace. I know it's getting close in terms of that, because
No, it's not.
I don't. I mean,
It's
by, like,
still
the third
so
week in
far
October,
away.
we're good.
It's still so far away.
We have Amazon Prime now.
but the
Not the right
problem is that that meeting's only once a month, so you only got 5 more meets till it starts, right? Isn't that what it?
Well, that will be the
So you can build a
only
power
time
racer in
we ever
5
work
days?
on it, too. No, yeah, so you're right. It'll be the only time we ever work on it too.
I mean, let's be real. It really wouldn't be.
Probably half those times.
I mean, if it's not, it's not. But
I don't kid. That's the problem.
We work a lot.
Is I know how it. Yeah.
Super serial.
Super serial.
Kristen.
Hey,
But yeah, we are gonna start.
Chris
We are
wants
gonna start talking more about.
Adam, Chris has got something to show off.
Would.
Oh, go ahead.
All right, so this is what the 5 of us tinkered with last Tuesday, just learning out how to use the lathe. So then I came back the next day, I posted this.
Really good.
All right,
You
y'all.
can see it great.
Yeah, we can see it. All right, so this is when I came back and did the next day, and it's all green wood, so I know it's all gonna be cracking. I made this last night just for like practice
That's really good.
on how to use the chisels and such.
That's super
I started this today, but then I had to leave to go to Pilates class before coming back here. So work in progress. And
Learn with me.
I put some of the
Learn with
logs
Pilates?
from my what?
Oh, sorry.
I put some of the extra logs underneath the lathe. If anybody wants to practice with them, again, it's green wood, it's gonna crack.
Yeah.
But if you just want to get some practice with learning how to hold the chisels and whatnot, it's up for grabs.
Oh,
Have you
yeah.
done any hollowing out yet? Like hollowing out a bowl or anything?
I tried Halloween
A
a little bit. I'm not gonna get back up and stand up. But
Would a controlled temperature oven help you with your drying?
I have no idea.
Me
This is
either.
100% brand new to me.
Oh.
But that's something to look into.
Yes and no. The problem is when you dry it out too fast like that, it cracks. It's more likely to crack. I was just gonna say that the it's for hollowing to learn is easier to learn with something wider, like a bowl. But I can't speak to it too much because I've done catches so much on bowls where they just explode in my face. So that's something that I want to get back to practicing because they're fun. But yeah, you definitely wear a good face mask when you turn because
Yes.
a catch where the bowl explodes, it's not fun.
Latest
I had it where like I was only wearing the glasses and the bowl flipped off, but it was really heavy. So the whole thing flipped off and hit me in the nose and gave me a bloody nose.
Oh my
But,
God.
you know, my eyes were protected, but yeah, it was fun. So yeah, that's why I was talking about the pen turning is I want to get back into turning, and turning a bowl is something that I'd never really accomplished very well. I did a couple small ones, but once they got bigger, I would just get catches all the time and go flying off. But that's cool. It's good to see. It's good to see the lathe is getting used. I was kind of worried it was just gonna get stuck in the corner and not get used.
The giant rack metal thingies up in the corner right next to it are a little bit in the way, but too heavy for me to move by myself. We can find a new home for them. The racking
Yep.
metal
Just
thingy
the studs,
majiggies.
whatever.
I accidentally keep like backing into them, and I'm afraid.
Oh yeah. Those need a home. That was supposed to be a temporary spot, so we do need to find a
Okay,
home.
cool.
Yeah, smell us over
Thanks, guys.
there. See, just ask.
Yes.
All right, cool. Anything else? Anybody else have anything they want to show off or talk about at all?
The lab has
All right.
That's pretty
That's
good.
okay.
Always a win.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Oh, Mike is saying the lab hasn't burned down yet.
Oh yeah, that's always a one. Well, I mean, 90% of that is due to his rewiring because the pictures of the brown wires. I'm like, yay, color changing wires. All right. So we'll go ahead and conclude this meeting. Thank you everybody for showing up. Thank you everybody who was online. Anybody who's watching afterwards, thank you for being a part of FamiLAB. And yeah, we'll go ahead and sign off.
Cool. Thanks everyone out.
Thank you, Adam.
Thank you, Adam.
Yeah.